tomorrow will go viral. What I really think is it has a good chance to go get some virality out of it, but I don't know if it will. But I gave myself the best chance I possibly could. So I wrote this tweet today. It's basically a summary of the frameworks that Sean Puri had spoke about. His 11, I think in the podcast is actually 12, but I picked 11. And it's a summary of his favorite frameworks that every entrepreneur should learn and know. And as I was listening to the podcast, it's like 28 minutes long. I just thought they were so great. I sent it to a few friends and thought, oh, it'd be perfect to just do a summary of it. And then, so I started doing a summary of kind of each of these different pieces of the puzzle. And then along the way, I started to think to myself about how I was going to post this whole thread, and I didn't tag anybody else in it. It would just be Sean's a thread for Sean. So I needed to figure out how I could include some other people in the thread that retweet people on the regular. So people like Daniel Vassallo, Naval does, Stuart Butterfield. These are the CEO and chief sales officer at Bex or something like that, and then Jack Butcher. So I basically went ahead and summarized this podcast that he did. Took a summary of it, and the way that I actually took this summary of it was I went to this podcast page itself, which is down here at the bottom. And let me just throw it in here. I'll show you. I went and found. I just wanted to see if they had already summarized it, and it was cool. They already kind of did. So I just pulled each of these and copied them into each of the different tweets that are here. And then I listened to the podcast on 1.5x and went through and kind of did a summary of each of the different parts of it. And then what I went ahead and did after that was I went into Figma and put together basically the different, what would we call it, images that will go with each of the different tweets. So like this image here is, he talks about like using the power box to organize your day. It prioritizes the rest of your work. Prioritize the rest of your work using the power box. Triage every task based on what matters by impact and urgency, and place in the correlating box. So I made whatever the power box so you could see it, right? How to kick off a project. He has one here called like Big Mario Marketing. I thought this was really cool, but he talks about here. I made this little image, and it basically says like, the person who's a potential customer is small Mario. Your product is the fire flower, and when Mario touches the fire flower, he becomes like this epic awesome person who does rad shit. So this isn't what your business sells, even though this is your product. This is what you sell, is being the awesome person who does rad shit. So I made these different ones, and then as I was kind of going, I made like one for almost all of them. And then I started to think, okay, I should figure out some people that are related to these. So he talks about getting business, stuck as like a normal part of entrepreneurship, or and just being someone who like recognizes that that's normal and using some type of playbook to beat it. And it's actually stolen from Tony Robbins. So I went ahead and kind of found a video. And I actually like recorded the video on my screen using what's called Cap, which is this really cool screen recording free screen recording app. Highly recommend downloading it. It's incredible. You can make things quickly into GIFs, MP4s. It can show up like when you type in certain letters on the keyboard, it'll show up on there. You can have it highlight your cursor, so wherever you click, like has like a little like circle around it. So it's great, super powerful. But recorded this and put it in there so I could tag Tony Robbins. This probably won't notice. But then there were other things where I saw like this quote here is actually a quote from Naval, where he talks about being patient with actions, impatient with actions, and patient with results. And so I went ahead and found that tweet and put it on in there. He talked about having an audience and how that is like steroids. And Daniel Vassallo, who I actually have taken this course from, has a great course on how to build a Twitter audience. So I went ahead and tagged him in here. So I went through and kind of found as many people as I could to tag in here that are also like fit within what's being said. So the ways that I kind of found this was, so for this one, this is number 9. It says work like a lion, not a cow. Cows stand on the same field, blah, blah, blah. Every day chewing weak, low nutrient grass. Lions sit, wait, and look for their prey. When they see it, they sprint, hunt as a pack, and catch it. Then they enjoy and rest until the next. Quote by Naval, designed by Jack Butcher. I kind of like how I put Naval and Jack Butcher right next to each other, and I'm hoping that he'll probably dig that too. So Jack will dig that because Naval's huge and Jack is getting huge. But I found this design that Jack had made, and the way that I found it was using Twitter's search. But so let me see, Twitter's search cheat sheet. And you can actually come in here, and this is really helpful for finding tweets or people to kind of bolster your threads. So you can type in from, and then I put an @ symbol, and then we put in his handle, which is Jack Butcher, and now it'll show all these should show all the tweets from Jack Butcher. Oh, what I actually did was I saw that that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to see visualize value, because that's the organization or the company that he runs. And if I can spell it right, visualize value. There we go. And now I see all the visualized value ones, right, through the search. And then what did I search? I searched some type of word here. Sprint, enjoy. I don't know, but I started searching like certain words, and sometimes they would show up. Goal. Yeah, I searched the word goal, and so basically I searched a couple words that were coming to mind here, and I ended up finding this one, which works really well because kind of this is the cow and this is the lion, and then I obviously tag him here and give him credit, which I think he'll probably like. So I put this together, kind of like a listicle, and basically just took apart a podcast episode that I thought was really, really well done, and added examples in imagery, tagged people who were related to the different concepts, figured out who was related to these different concepts and tagged them in it, included people who have similar concepts, and used their kind of imagery to help bolster it. And then on the bottom of the thread, I basically here say, if you'd like to say thank you, please retweet the first tweet on the thread. That'd be the most meaningful way to say thanks. And then up on top, I included each of the people's names here in the first tweet, because what would be ideal is if the people who are featured in one of these tweets comes in and doesn't retweet the bottom tweet or the middle tweet, but comes in and retweets the top tweet. So that's my goal here, is basically here's the thread. It includes resources from all these people, which hopefully gets people then to kind of engage more because they know some of these names and are interested, and then they can come in and start to read and go through it. And yeah, so I mean, everything I've learned, this is best a way I can queue up the possibility of having a tweet that kind of goes viral. If I was to bet $100 tomorrow, I would say that this tweet is going to get at least one person in here to retweet, is my biggest hope. So if one person of all these retweets, I would consider it basically having gone viral, especially for my account. I'm at 780, 790, so almost at 800. But if I can get a reach of 10,000 people on a tweet, which will totally happen if someone here tweets it, it would be a huge win. So yeah, and the other thing here that I should probably do, I'm probably gonna do it right after this, is the podcast is also with a guy named Sean Parr, or not Sean, Sam Parr, and I'm gonna go ahead and tag him in here as well, just so he gets a notification, and if he checks it out and digs it, there's a chance that he might do it too. So that's kind of how I went through and put together a tweet that I think is going to have the best chance to go viral tomorrow. If you're on Twitter tomorrow and you see it, give it a read. If you like it, please give it a retweet. That'd be wonderful. So that's the big update today. I haven't done very much on Twitter with regards to growing my audience this month. So the hope is that this thread kind of gives me the bump that I would like to have each month, where I'm kind of at least getting 250 people coming onto my following each month would be huge. I'm going to focus. I plan to focus more on this, but I'm trying to finish kind of getting first customers in the door and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see where things go. But hope this is helpful and taught you a little something, and I hope you have a great night.